Another major problem is the student discipline. A feral student, which is what I call them, and a feral student is one that doesn't do any work or very little and is disrespectful. So their job, because they don't want to do the schoolwork, their job is to disrupt the class. It only takes one or two of those students to eat up half the class, especially the emotional energy of a teacher. Most of my students are great, but this one class that has two of these feral students, over half the class has Fs because they're easily distracted. So when you're talking about sixth graders, they're not necessarily the most focused individuals in the world. And so it spreads throughout the class. And it's very difficult. As far as feral students goes, there's a requirement in the state that we provide public education or public education system to all students. However, at some level, students need to earn their way into the school by being willing to work and being respectful. Because if they're not, learning and our investment in all these other kids is not as efficient. So I think students that meet those two criteria of not being respectful and not doing work should set that money aside and provide it to them when they're ready to work. Maybe in 5 years, maybe when they're early 20s. But unless there's some consequences, there's no consequences. And who the ones that are suffering is everyone except the ones who should be suffering. So just a thought.
I would just ask, as a seasoned politician, you know that words matter, and they can have a meaning beyond what we mean, what we think it means. And I'm just concerned about the phrase feral students. The definition of feral is resembling a wild animal. And I'm concerned that labeling students who may be disruptive as wild animals may be a bit dehumanizing. So I would hope maybe we could come up with a better terminology that doesn't unintentionally disparage them.